let's get into the playoff picture. So notable movements from this weekend. The Bengals, as we point out, clinch the AFC North. Congratulations, Breech. We definitely made fun of the idea that of anyone betting on that like before the season. The Titans clinched the AFC South. The Patriots, Bills clinched playoff spots in the AFC. The Eagles clinched a playoff spot in the NFC, and the Packers clinched the number 1 seed in the NFC as well. If you've been hanging out with us watching the early odds show, there may be a little bit redundancy here as we talk about the playoff picture, but not everyone will listen to that podcast. So bear with us.
I didn't listen to it, so this will all be new to me.
There you go. Teams eliminated on Sunday include the Broncos, Dolphins, Browns. I think that, Falcons with their
rounds.
Washington was eliminated.
There he goes.
I think the Texans, Seahawks, Panthers were already gone. Jets, Jaguars, Lions, Giants, and Bears.
I love that you think the Panthers are still in it.
I mean, they kind of were like flirting around for a while. So the teams that are still alive in the AFC, but have not clinched. There's 4 teams left for 2 spots. Indianapolis, five teams left because Baltimore's still alive, right? Yes. Five teams. So the Colts, of course, the Chargers, who are the current 6 and 7 seeds. Vegas is the 8 seed, Pittsburgh 9, and Baltimore 11. The Colts are win and they're in against the Jaguars in week 18. The Chargers and Raiders play each other on Sunday night in week 18, and the winner will be into the playoffs. The scenario that the Steelers and Browns play on Monday night, if the Browns beat the Steelers are out. If the Steelers win, the Steelers and Ravens play in week 18, and they would also need Indianapolis to lose
to Jacksonville. Although I will say that game is in Jacksonville, and Indy has not won in Jacksonville since 2014.
Correct.
And Jacksonville only has 4 wins since the final week of the 2019 season, and 2 of them are against the Colts.
Stop it.
I'm just trying to give hope to my fellow AFC Northers out there. Steelers and Ravens.
Trying to give Wilson false hope.
It's possible.
Yeah, passive-aggressive Breech in 5th gear already.
I'm giving you facts saying that the Jacksonville could beat Indianapolis. They're not going to.
The Raiders. The Raiders can actually also clinch a playoff berth if
they win.
Indy loses and Pittsburgh loses a single game. That's kind of wild. Wait, so they could.
That's the nightmare scenario for the NFL, because if that happens, then the Raiders have nothing to play for on Sunday night. And then you get the scenario where they just bench everyone and the Chargers win and get in. So that would be crazy.
That would be insane.
Similar to what we saw happen in 2009 when the Jets beat the Bengals 37-0 in the final Sunday night game of the year.
And then the Jets beat the Bengals in the playoffs the following.
I didn't need to bring that up. Nobody needed to bring that up.
I thought you want to know that. Smash that like button if you're in the YouTube chat. So it seems, so obviously we think one of the Raiders and Chargers get in, just the winner of that game is the more than likely scenario. And then do you think it's just Indy and then one of those teams gets in? That's pretty high percentage chance that happens.
I think the conversation, and you guys can disagree if you like, but it's Sunday night. Chargers Raiders will determine what happens. And both those teams played really well this Sunday. I lean Chargers because I have a crush on Brandon Staley, and I still am the apology tour for Justin Herbert. But I don't know. Steelers no, and I think the Ravens absolutely not. Just because they're too far back.
Yeah. You just need too much. You're asking for Indy to lose as a 14-point dog to a terrible football team. Granted on the road in a division game, but still.
Stop it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very likely. But I think the crazy part is if Indy does win, and so then that becomes winner take all with Chargers. Yep. Is if the Raiders win, they would get the 6th seed, and if the Chargers win, they would get the 7th seed. So there still would be some, so like the Colts, assuming they win, wouldn't even know who they're playing until after the Raiders-Chargers game has been played.
Right. So for the number, all right, so that's sort of how it's shaken out in the bottom of the AFC. For the number 1 seed, the Tennessee Titans can clinch the 1 seed with either a win over the Texans, which will be on Sunday, or KC losing, Cincinnati losing, and New England losing, or KC losing, Cincy losing, and Buffalo winning, which is kind of wild. In other words, it's like the way, if it's like a 4-team tie at 11-6, the Patriots get the first overall seed. If it's a 5-team tie, Cincy gets it. And they just need to go beat the Texans, which they should be able to do because the Titans.
Which you
they've already lost to them once.
You would think, but the Titans needed a win in their season finale last year, and they played that crazy bonkers game against the Texans. I don't know if you guys remember it. Tennessee won 41-38.
Yeah.
And they were
Derrick Henry went nuts in that game.
They were a 7-point favorite in that game. So it was one of those, the Titans are going to win this easy. And then they didn't win it easy. Yep. Brinson, Derrick Henry went nuts with, I think, 250 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yep. The Chiefs need to win on Saturday. They'll play the Broncos on the road, 10-point favorite in that flex game on Saturday. They need to win and then have the Titans lose to get the first round bye. So Kansas City will be motivated Saturday. That's why the NFL moved the game to Saturday. And we'll see. They'll come out, play hard against the Broncos, and then hope for the Titans to slip up. The Bengals can get the number 1 overall seed with 2 scenarios. They can either win and Tennessee loses and Kansas City loses and New England loses, or win and Buffalo wins, Tennessee loses, and KC loses. Quite a
Breech. Who did the Bengals play?
The Cleveland Browns.
Oh, Browns
in Cleveland.
The Browns going to win out the next 2 weeks.
They might. They might. I was telling Brinson, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals rest. If they think there's an absolute outside shot. I mean, if the Chiefs win Saturday, I think the Bengals rest Joe Burrow.
The great ironies of ironies is that Breech's dreams are coming true for the Bengals. They're resting starters in week 18.
I never thought they'd be in this position, and here we are. So I have to cheer for the Chiefs so that Joe Burrow can get a week off. He's been beat up all season.
Smash that like button. The Patriots can clinch the number 1 overall seed if they win. Buffalo loses, Tennessee loses, and Kansas City loses. A very, very, very unlikely parlay that would require for the Patriots to pull that off. But the Patriots are safely in the playoffs. Okay, anything else from the AFC before we move to the NFC?
Who do you guys think gets in?
Oh, the Chargers.
Yeah, I think it's Chargers.
And I'll make my bold prediction. I think the Bengals are going to win a playoff game.
What?
I do too.
I mean that sincerely.
Stop being nice. I don't like this.
I don't want to.
You're jinxing them. You're jinxing them. Reverse jinx, Wilson. Classic reverse jinx.
No, I'm not like you.
Joe Burrow is the new Favre. You don't want to bet against him. Like, you just don't want to bet against Joe Burrow. This guy just has a killer instinct. He gets it done in the big spot. I'm not even being sarcastic. We'll talk more about the Bengals when we get there.
I think it's going to be Colts and Raiders.
Wait, are we going to talk about every single game?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to spend a very little amount of time on some of them.
Okay, because I feel like this is much more pertinent than going over the Saints-Panthers game.
Well, that's... I mean, we've been doing this for like 5 years. Like,
well, Debo's milling this one in.
Sure,
let's be
Wilson
honest.
Would name a game that absolutely had no playoff implications. The Saints had to win that. Well, how about Seahawks-Lions, you know?
Actually, I didn't hate that game. All right, let's go.
Okay, so as you can see from the standings, Green Bay gets the elusive Z, which I believe is the clinches the first overall bye. So they are locked into the 1 seed. You can almost guarantee. We've seen it the last few years, I believe, right? Aaron Rodgers not playing. It's going to be Jordan Love. It's actually really beneficial for Green Bay. Rodgers has the busted up toe. He can rest that. Theoretically, the busted up toe.
He can rest it for 2 weeks. He gets surgery on it if he wants, because he can rest in week 18. They have the bye and the wild card round. Like, my goodness.
You know what I was thinking about this Breech dream come true about more starters not playing in week 18? This is an opportunity for Jordan Love, as you mentioned, but it's also an opportunity for other teams who might be interested in Jordan Love, assuming Aaron Rodgers comes back. To make a little move, because Chris Collinsworth talked about it on the Sunday night telecast, that it feels like, and this is just him speculating, I would imagine, that fences have been mended in Green Bay. So if Aaron Rodgers comes back and you are indeed trying to make him happy, I would imagine you draft some wide receivers, and then you would also perhaps move on from Jordan Love in much the same way that the Patriots moved on from Jimmy G, again, presumably to make Tom Brady not angry at them. Showcase game.
Rodgers actually said, is saying right now in his press conference, or just said that he was checking out the end of the Cardinals-Cowboys game, saw Kyler Murray run around the edge to ice the game, and he knew that all they had to do was go win against the Vikings in the night game, and they would have the number 1 overall seed. The Rams are the current number 2 seed, but they have to win. Let's see, if they win against San Francisco, they get the division. If San Francisco win, that game is a huge game, because if Arizona wins and the Rams lose, Arizona takes down the division.
Let me ask Breech a question, because I know the answer from you, Senior Dum Dum. Breech, in this game next week for the Rams, would you rather have a completely healthy Jared Goff or a completely healthy Matthew Stafford?
Oh my God.
I'm asking Breech.
This is not what we do during the playoffs picture.
I just have a quick question. You can answer.
I mean,
save it for the Rams recap.
No, it's a 5-second answer.
For right this second, Matthew Stafford, but I mean, he's been struggling a lot.
Okay, there. See, easy done. You're so. That's you. You don't want to face reality.
The Buccaneers have clinched the NFC South. The Cowboys have clinched the NFC East. So the only division left up for grabs is the NFC West. The Cardinals and Rams can, obviously flip if the Cardinals were to win against the Seahawks at home and the Rams were to lose, and the seeding can still go every which way. So the Cowboys are playing on Saturday, and as Breech and I talked about in the early odds show, they play the Eagles. They're 2.5-point favorites. You probably want to go ahead and bet that now, because it should move towards the Cowboys. The Cowboys, by virtue of a win coupled with a loss from what do they need for the number 2 seed, Breech? What do we decide?
Well, they have to win, and the Rams and Buccaneers both have to lose.
Yeah. So it's like 22-1 in a pretty unlikely scenario.
So the Buccaneers have to lose to the Panthers.
But you know what else, Breech? Now, if the Rams lose, the Cardinals have to lose too, because the Cardinals would get the 2 seed above the Cowboys because they have the head-to-head tiebreak now. So if the Rams lose, oh man, this is a really difficult road to get the 2 seed for the Cowboys. They need the Cardinals, Bucks, Cardinals, Bucks, Rams to all lose, and they would get the 2 seed at 12-5 with a 3-way tie against the Rams and the Bucks. Cardinals would be the 5th seed in that scenario. And the 49ers would get into the playoffs by virtue of beating the Rams. If the 49ers win, they can win and get in, or win and the Saints lose to the Falcons. If the 49ers lose and the Saints beat the Falcons, the Saints are your extra player, your extra wild card team. I think I got that right.
A lot of craziness. And, it's like Russell Wilson against the Cardinals. That's not too crazy. It could be his final game in Seattle. Wants to go out with the Seahawks. Wants to go out with a bang. Obviously, the 49ers beating the Rams isn't too crazy because they've won 5 straight against the Rams. So I think the craziest part of this would be the Buccaneers losing to the Panthers. But even if the Cardinals and Rams both lose, the Cowboys could at least jump up to the 3 seed.
Yes, that is correct. If either of, oh wow, you know what? No. If there's if the Bucks lose, but the Cardinals and Rams win, the Cowboys would still just be the 4 seed. This is wild how much stuff can move around. So really anybody from any of LA, Tampa Bay, Dallas, or Arizona can end up as the 2 seed still. So that's why the Cowboys should be motivated on that Saturday game to play. And then, of course, you have the wild card spot. San Francisco, Philadelphia is in. We don't think Philly might potentially rest their players in that Saturday game because of they're locked into either 7 or 6. They have no earthly idea who they're going to play. So you're not going to you're not motivated to beat the Cowboys just so you can decide your wild card weekend opponent. You just sort of let it go as it falls, or let it play out as it falls, and then just try to be healthy for the wild card. I think that's probably the move for the Eagles, right?
Yeah, I don't know why the Eagles would play anyone. But although, you were just talking about Aaron Rodgers said after the game against the Vikings on Sunday night that he absolutely wants to play next week, and he plans on playing. And I'm guessing, yeah, he said that. I'm guessing that has to do with the fact that he does not want to sit out for 2 weeks and get rusty. And that's a long time, because then by the time you're back on the field, it's been 3 weeks since your last game. And, I understand why someone would want to avoid that, but that's only applies to the team that gets the bye. If you can rest your starters in week 18, then you have to bye, and then you don't have to play till the divisional round. But yeah, he said, I'm going to play this week. I expect Devontae to play and our guys to play.
Well, that's immediately following that game. Let's see how that works out with Matt LaFleur and his decision making. Smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. Okay. Anything else are we missing anything else?
Who gets the last playoff spot in the NFC? Saints or 49ers? 49ers going to lose to the Rams?
I have a bad feeling about it, honestly.
You think the 49ers aren't going to make it?
Who the Saints playing?
Saints are at the Falcons.
Oh, I mean,
Falcons will try hard in that game to knock the Saints out of the playoffs. So.
Falcons can score. I don't know if the Saints can. The Saints defense is really good. That game could be 6-4 or something.
Yeah.
Like 2 safeties.
And I will say, everybody knows about the Super Bowl draft we did, where we each picked 4 teams to win it all, including
where
our
are
listener.
we at on that, Breech?
My two teams are the 49ers and the Saints, right?
C-Rad is the only person who currently has all 4 of his teams in: Buccaneers, Cardinals, Titans, Colts. That was our listener who participated. I can get all 4 in if the Chargers get in, because I also have the Bills, Cowboys, and Bengals. Brinson is going to get 3 because he has the Chiefs, Rams, who are definitely in, but he also has the 49ers and the Saints, and only one of them can make it. So Brinson will be down a team. Wilson,
I'm guaranteed a team then.
Wilson, who we just said 2 weeks ago, might have an argument for the best draft, or 3 weeks ago, is down to 2 teams. Or I guess the Ravens could still have an outside chance of making it. But he has the Packers, he has the Patriots, and the Ravens.
I'm such a loser for not taking the Bengals when I had my chance to snake them from you.
Last round, man. I got him in the
last round. All right,
Aaron
Rodgers.
Last round.
Aaron Rodgers, don't play next week and get hurt. Everything rests on you.
You need to rerun the poll and see who gets the highest votes. I still think it'll be C-Rad.
The games were so crazy on Sunday that the 49ers won their game, and their division their playoff odds dropped 22.9% from 86.4 down to 63.5 because the Saints, the way that things shook out, it basically left them having to beat the Rams, who the Rams are a good football team. I know you hate Matthew Stafford with all your
I don't hate him. I just
and
point out how
a big part of that, Brinson, just because people might be wondering, how do you drop 22%? And it's because the projections originally had the Cowboys beating the Cardinals, and if that had happened, then the Rams would have clinched the division. They wouldn't have had anything to play for in week 18. Correct. And so that's what the simulations assumed. But since that didn't happen, now the 49ers are in very hazy territory.
Well, and with the way that with the Eagles, with the Eagles clinching a spot and winning, right? That changed things too, because now it left only one spot whereas before, if the Eagles had lost out, they could have done that. They could have, it would improve the odds for the 49ers.
By the way, I got a fun fact before we move on back to the AFC. We're not going to talk about the Steelers because they didn't play yet, but Alan Saunders of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette tweeted this out, and this would be the best thing ever, and I would love it if it happened. Even if the Steelers went out and the Jaguars beat the Colts, it's not clear the Steelers would get in, because if the Sunday night game between the Chargers and the Raiders ends in a tie,
oh, that's right,
they would have the Steelers, and the Steelers would still be out, which would be a perfect ending to this craptastic 2021/22 season for Pittsburgh.
Yes.
So pray for a tie. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Then who gets in then if they tie that Sunday night game, Breech?
Are you assuming the Colts win?
No, the Colts lose to the Jags. That's the only way the Steelers would have a chance to get in.
So we have the Steelers.
And the Steelers beat the Ravens.
Steelers went out. Jaguars beat the Colts.
Then the Raiders and Chargers both get in at 9-7-1.
Oh, fancy! All right, there you go.
The Steelers would be the third 9-7-1 team and not win and not get in.
What? Whoa! So now that actually gets kind of interesting, because
I would love to watch that Sunday night game, knowing that the Steelers could still miss the playoffs.
But if you're the Raiders and Chargers, wouldn't you just
kneel it on every play so you both get in?
And the NFL would lose its minds.
Roger Goodell would be calling both sidelines.
What are you doing? They're like, nah, bro, we're going to the playoffs.
I can't answer text during the game.
Because that's the only path where both of them can get in, right?
There's a path.
There's a path to 9 wins.
That would be that would be fantastic.
And in that scenario, the Pats would get the 1 seed. Good Lord, what a zoo this would be.
Wow.
The Raiders and Chargers can both get in if the Steelers lose Monday night and then win in week 18 and the Colts lose in week 18.
Is that, would that be legal according to the NFL bylaws? I have no idea. I mean, you could just
what's that? Doing nothing?
doing nothing. I mean,
Kneeling on every
What are
play.
they going to do? They're going to run down there and like disqualify him?
it'd be on Sunday Night Football. Like it would be.
Did you watch last year's Sunday night game where the Eagles just threw it away? Nobody cares.
Yeah,
They got mocked and now they're in the playoffs. And they got the last laugh.
What if they just punted on first down every time for like punt over
and then like the Raiders accidentally blocked a punt? That'd be something the Raiders would do.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Or like I would be like I'd agree like a gentleman's agreement to do it, and then like you just grab the ball late and just go score. Like you get the ball and then just completely hose over your opponent.